again, in the U.S. too, it's becoming this kind of thing where the left and the right are so polarized, and you just don't see a way out of it. You just don't see how the two sides are going to find a center point where they can kind of come to some kind of a policy moving forward. And now, of course, the biggest concern is what's going to happen come November when you have the elections, whether Trump will accept the elections should he lose, or whether even the Republicans will, play with the numbers, and that could be a real constitutional crisis if he doesn't step down.
I feel it's two sides of the same coin. The Democrats and the Republicans are basically the same monster. At this point, they have a lot of the same policies when it comes to they're both neo-liberalistic. They're all about the economy. Yeah, exactly. They're all about the money. I think that I can't remember who said that. It was I saw that on the news recently, or it was a really interesting analysis where when the Democrats, they started really focusing on making money and profit, and they tossed the people aside. That's where the revolution started to happen. In the lab. I think it started with Clinton, perhaps, or maybe a little bit after. I can't remember.
Well, there's been kind of this shift since the 80s, since basically 1979, 1980. That's when these neoliberalistic policies really began to be enacted globally, like in different countries, and including the U.S. under Reagan. And since then, you've kind of seen that a lot of these policies have been followed by both regimes, and there have been all kinds of protest movements. Black Lives Matter has been around for a while. You have other, movements that have been forming as a result of this. You have, in the U.S., you're talking about maybe 60 million people, like a whole third world country living in poverty in the U.S. And the disparity and the concentration of wealth is kind of equivalent to what it was during the early 20th century when you had the
Great Depression.
The Great Depression. When the Rockefellers had so much wealth concentrated in their hands. And we got out of that in large part because of World War II and stuff.
The Great New Deal.
This is the kind of thing that we need now. These are the types of reforms we need now. We need billions of dollars invested in infrastructure. We need to try to kind of eliminate this great disparity in wealth. The solutions are not like impossible.
They're available.
The solutions are available.
Yeah.
The problem is there isn't the will, because in the same way that in Lebanon the guys have fixed a system which works for them and they don't want anybody messing with
their money.
It's the same thing in the U.S.
Yeah. Bunch of gangsters.
Bunch of gangsters.
It's sad. Welcome to the Ericzone podcast. Please go have a look at the YouTube. Please like the Facebook page. Content creators, they need your vote of confidence. They need your likes and your shares. So thank you very much.